So I think it's a common progression that people who go through spiritual work start with a belief in the self, and as they start to learn about the idea of there being no self, then they replace the belief with a self with a belief of a no self. Okay, but that's still a belief. So basically, the no self that the teaching of no self is pointing to is not a belief. It's more like an absence of a belief of a self than a belief of a no self. There's a very little difference there that actually makes a big difference. One is the lack of a belief, the other one is the substitution of an opposing belief. Okay, so there seems to be a progression of believing in a self and then believing in a no self and then dropping both beliefs. I kind of like the analogy of the belief of the self is kind of like being a theist, and then the belief of a no self is kind of like being an atheist. And then you could also think about, you could have a belief of not knowing, not being able to know, right? That's a little bit closer. That would be more like being agnostic. But even having a belief that it's unknowable, that's still a belief regarding the self, still a position. No self is pointing to no position regarding the self, more than a belief of a no self or some sort of agnosticism regarding the self.